Welcome to you all. Welcome to the October team heading off to Kenya in October, in literally not long to go, a few weeks. My name is Millie Whitehead. I head up all things at the Leap, and joining me today is the lovely Harry, who is in
Hi
one
guys.
waving, who also knows all things Kenya. So he's taking kind of notes. Any questions, he will get back to you afterwards. So the point of today is to get you organized, is to match expectations. We are going to go through your flights, your visas, your itinerary, kit, health and safety, and the safari details. So hopefully by the time we've finished, we've answered all those kind of lingering questions that you've got in the background. But it is interactive. Hence, I've kind of got got you so I can see you in the video. So after each section, oh, here's the lovely Ali from America. After each section, any questions, just wave your hand, wave at me, and we'll go through it. Okay? So Ali, you've just joined us. Welcome. It's probably very early for the morning, very early in the day for you. Hello, Ali.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good. Good of you to join us. What time of day is it for you?
6:04 right now.
Oh,
So
that's good. That's good. Well done. Okay. So we're just going to run through everything. So after each section, just wave at me if you've got any questions. Okay. Right. Also, very useful. Put yourself on mute now. So if you are going to take phone calls, then we can't hear you. Okay. Right. Okie doke. So, starting at the top, your flights. Let me look. Well, right at the tippy top, there's 14 of you who are heading off, which is a great team size. Let me just find my the correct window, which has now disappeared. So, the majority of you are all flying with Air Ethiopia. Okay, so we're just going to go through that. Ali, you're going to be meeting everybody in Addis, aren't you? Yeah, so everyone's going to look out for Ali at Addis. So Air Ethiopia, it's a really good airline. Trust me, I always force my entire family to go to Kenya on it, which we do, luckily enough, quite a lot. Um, it's just a bit of a headache. Okay, so when you arrive, you're going to have to go through loads of bag checks. So just brace yourself for that. Don't dilly-dally. Get off and get into the queue because if you're with other airlines that are arriving, you can be queuing for a while. So, don't dilly-dally, get straight into that queue. Um, Also, top tip, as soon as you get off that aeroplane, switch your mobile roaming off. They charge an absolute fortune. And as a family, I've been stung. We've all been stung many a time. I think it's like 34 quid a second or a minute. Okay, so don't forget to do that. When you get through having your bags checked and all that paraphernalia, shoes on, shoes off, you will then head upstairs. Upstairs, I suggest you go to the far end. You'll understand what I mean when you get there. The far end, and they've got these lovely long sitty downy, lie downy chairs. So you can chill your boots then. There are several kind of cafes, restaurants to get water, food. Do not drink the water out of the taps. Always buy your water and you can just pay on your card when you're there. So you don't need any kind of dollars. So get your Revolut card out when you're there. Okay. So that's pretty easy. Pretty easy. You don't need yellow fever to, a lot of people ask us this question because if you book through Trail Finders, they say you need yellow fever. You don't when you're transiting Ethiopia. So don't worry about that. Okay. When you get to Mombasa, again, a lot of queuing. So don't dilly-dally off that plane, get into that queue early, and you will feel like, oh my God, welcome to Africa. The whole of that airport feels like a large shed, really. It's a big shed. It's nothing glamorous. So make sure you've got your water bottles filled up on the aeroplane before you get to said shed, because there isn't anything there. Okay? You go through immigration, you'll pick up your bags in the adjoining shed with one conveyor belt, and our team will be waiting for you at the exit gate. Okay? If for some reason they are delayed, there is a little cafe just there on the right-hand side. So stay put, do not wander off. But they're never late, but that's just playing the worst case scenario. Okay, so then you're going to be picked up, and from that moment, you're going to chill your beans. It's about an hour and a half to the camp itself. Okay, so anybody else? I haven't got the flights in front of me. So Ali, you're coming. You're going to meet everybody at in Addis and then connect in. So look out for the lovely Ali. Zoe will be setting up, and Harry will be setting up a WhatsApp group before you go. So when you get to Addis, if one of you just wants, and Ali, one of you just wants to go into one of the cafes and joins the Wi-Fi there, then you can connect up. Okay, that's my top tip. Okay, when you get to Kenya, the admin will start and they will set you up with a local Safaricom little SIM card. They'll set you up with a banking app, which is everybody uses. So you'll just get organized, and you'll do that on the first afternoon that you're there. Okay. They use the banking app, a thing called M-Pesa. Now that is just, it is honestly, it's so high tech. So even if you were buying a samosa from the man on the market on the side of the road, you would pay him by M-Pesa. But if you can't set that up, you can still use shillings. So I recommend that at the airport, everyone, and Joseph and Juma will tell you this, you get about 100 quid out in shillings. So you've got that. But then you'll also get the M-Pesa out to pay for suppers if you go out, drinks if you go out, things like that. Okay, super easy. The Wi-Fi, while we're on the Wi-Fi, in the camp, there is Wi-Fi. Okay, so WhatsApping, easy peasy. But it is not sufficient enough to start downloading the House of Guinness and all your favorite programs. So if if you love watching a bit of telly before you go to bed, or audiobooks, download before you go, because it's not that substantial. Okay. But the telephone, the comms, it works really well. Okay. So your itinerary, in the 4 weeks, every day will be different, but every day will involve helping with marine conservation. So with that, what I mean by that is your main goal is to help Oceans Alive improve the reef, the health of the reef outside their in their protected zone. Okay, that is what you'll be doing. By practically, that looks like you'll be making coral plugs, you'll be making these crazy structures to create new reefs underwater, and you'll be going out, snorkel and mask on, with your toothbrush, cleaning the corals and transporting them. It's literally gardening underwater. But you're going to see a before beach, which is the beach right outside your accommodation, and an after beach, which is 5 minutes down the road, right outside the Oceans Alive main center. And you're going to be shocked, impressed with what can be done with resources and the volunteers that we send throughout the year. So the purpose of Oceans Alive is they have created this amazing reef, and now they are shown how they do it with, yes, the coral gardening, but also getting the community on board, which is their USP. They have now got all the community, all the local fishermen involved into this conservation and appreciating how If they can't fish for 6 months a year, they get better health, better coral health, more fish. So when they can fish for 6 months a year in a more sustainable way, everybody is richer. Okay. But to do that, you as volunteers will be going out into the villages, building them jiko stoves, helping them with their permaculture. And the jiko stoves and the permaculture are giving them alternative food supplies and alternative food to sell at the market and to trade. So you will learn all about this. It's really inspiring. And Des and Tilda, who head up Oceans Alive, are now spearheading this and giving techniques, showing other people globally how they've done it, and it's been copied worldwide. It's really, really impressive. Your main guides on the ground are Joseph and Juma, who are awesome. They are fully trained, from parents listening to this with health and safety, safeguarding. They're brilliant. Why they are so brilliant is that they are loved by the local communities. So they give you access. You are welcomed into these communities, which for me is the biggest privilege of this whole experience. Tourists, as you know, cannot just walk into a local village and lend a hand. It's just something that you can't do. But they really respect Joseph and Juma and Oceans Alive, and they now really value the volunteers, such as yourself, who come 4 to 5 times a year to really make a difference. And in return for your generosity, wow, do they show you a good time. And the good times is they want to, which you have to go to, is revealed at their Sunday church service, which really shows you how church should be run. And they are spectacular days full of entertainment, really bright and breezy and noisy. And so you'll get what I mean when you're there. Okay. So every day you will be working in the water, in the village, doing the permaculture, building jiko stoves, and going into the local schools, helping educate all the kind of youngsters about what you're doing and why, so they have better appreciation of the water. They respect it from an early age. So you're making a cultural difference from early on. You're going to be doing beach cleaning with the kids. You're going to be playing football matches against the kids. And my God, they are competitive. So if you think you're going to win and you think, I can nail you, said 9-year-old, think again, because they're going to run rings around you. So it's highly competitive experiences. They're football matches, but it's really inclusive and fun. Okay, we do have a detailed itinerary of what you're going to do every day, but you don't need to know that. Every day, Joseph and Juma run a blackboard, and you'll be they'll write on exactly what goes on, and you'll be in the right place at the right time. In your last week, then they kind of put on the kind of what have you loved? What do you want to do more of days? So nothing is set in gold. If you turn around and say, oh my God, Joseph and Juma, we love doing that. Please, can we do more of that? Trust me, they bend over backwards to oblige. They're incredibly kind people. Okay, so that is the kind of nuts and bolts of the purpose of you being there. And every day, all those activities will just roll together. But expect you'll be getting up early. So, activities start about kind of 8:39 in the morning. You'll be busy in the morning, you come back for lunch, and then you'll be back out in the afternoon doing something else. And then the evenings, sunset is about 6. The aim is that you're back at base, have a beer, beach bonfire, chili beans, and start again the next day. Now, the weekends are your free time. Okay, you're not going to be asked to do any jobs apart from going to the church service. So you can, the kind of the local things to do is going to the wonderful beach bar, 2 beaches down, where there's a volleyball pitch and it's got a great vibe, music, delicious food, cocktail smoothies, all of that. Everyone loves going there. There's also Vipingo Ridge, which is about a 10-minute taxi just up the hill. That's a really fun place. It is a really swanky golf course, but you don't have to play golf. You go up this winding hill. You've got it's really cool. Actually, you've got kind of giraffes and antelope or and zebra all over the golf course. I'm not sure how they cope with the golf balls flying around, but they've got a really cool restaurant and pool, and Oceans Alive know them really well, so you can just go and chill there. On one of the weekends, it can easily Joseph and Juba will arrange if you wanted to go to Watamu for the weekend, and he'll talk to you about that, which is about an hour and a half further north. You can all go to a little hostel. Joseph or Juma will go with you, and it's quite fun. The other one of the other weekends is the option extra to go on safari. Now, I highly recommend this. I really, really do. And we've looked at it 100 different ways, and we know it's an added expense. I think it's about £650, something along those lines. But actually, it's a safari which is worth about £1,500 if you were a normal tourist. And you're going with Chris, who and his wife Jeanette, who are old school safari guides, and they're just amazing, and they really bring the African plains to life. It's not just about the big five. They will show you about all the little meerkats and the little dung beetles, and they're just really amazing people. And what they did with the last few groups is they take you right over to Savo West, and then they bring you all the way back to Savo East. So the aim is that you would spend different nights in different places in and experience a tented camp, a stilted camp, a normal, lodge style camp, all of which have got water holes right outside. So the elephants are there. Tsavo National Park is renowned for its elephant population. And it is just incredible to sit silently, if that's possible, because I know when I go, it's impossible to sit silently, and just watching these elephants come and go, and watching the dynamics and the behavior of elephants especially, but all the wildlife in general. So I really recommend you do that. I know it would, everyone goes, oh God, can I afford it? But parents, if you're listening to this, it's a one in a lifetime thing. It's a to go with Chris and Janine. It's a good maneuver. Okay. It's a good investment, I'd say. So that's any questions about the purpose and the activities of the 4 weeks. Anyone got any questions? All good? Sound exciting? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs
Can
up.
I just ask, what sort of money, what denominations of money
How much extra money should you bring?
Yeah.
Okay, the safari, take the safari out of the equation, because Chris has got an English bank account and it's really easy to pay just by bank transfer when you've spoken to him, if you all like the idea and you think, yeah, we're going to go ahead with it. Okay, so take the safari out. Other than that, I honestly, all your food is included. The only thing you're going to be doing is maybe once or twice a week going out for a pizza, or the weekends going out for lunch at the I think you'll be spending about 150 quid maximum a week.
And can I just ask, so what denomination would you take? Dollars or Kenya?
No, you're taking a Revolut card.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, taking a Revolut, one of those cards where you're not charged to get the shillings out of the wall. Okay? And so you could pay as you go. You can also, be paying on your card when you're at the beach bar. They all take cards. Now, where you can get ripped off, okay, now really be mindful, and everyone falls for this, is on the safari when you drive for about 3 hours to end, and at the point of entering the park, there is like a stop zone where everyone stops, and there's sheds full of curios, sheds and sheds full of people trying to flog you a wooden elephant. Okay, and the price of those elephants is, honestly, if they see you coming and you get your wallet out, they'll start 100 quid for an elephant. Okay, they will really try and rip you off. So I suggest, unless you see something that is utterly amazing and you can't live without, then you go and get Chris and he will help you barter. Okay? Okay, bartering is an art and they love it, and you should only be paying about 10 quid for an elephant. Okay? So do not fall into that trap. A lot of people do. Okay? Right. So money. I'm going to just describe the house, okay, at Oceans Alive. So the house was in its prime a very nice hotel. Okay. So you'll see it's set up like a hotel. It's got the central base, and then you've got little round thatched rooms with bathrooms all attached right on the beach. It's a private property. It's got all the it's all safe and patrolled. So you know you're good to wander about at night. No one's going to come in and you can't get out, okay, without a security guard asking where you're going. All right, so it was in its prime really nice. I'm lowering your expectations. It's probably 3-star hostel now, okay, but it's functional, it's clean, it works, it's really nice. Now don't get upset. Some of you will be put in the rooms at the front, which have been upgraded to 4-star. Some of you will be on the rooms at the back, which haven't yet to be upgraded. But Joseph and Juma are really fair, and they'll spin you round halfway. Okay, so now I was like, oh, I really wanted to be in that room, which is all nicely whitewashed. But in each room, you're going to get lovely, you know, beds are comfy, mosquito nets are there, there's shelving for your bits and bobs. There's an ensuite shower and loo and basin. Okay, now the shower, it's cold water showers. You'll be thankful. No one would have a hot water shower. And it's well water. Okay, so it's brackish. So it looks rather brown, but it's absolutely fine. Okay, you're not to drink it though. Shower, mouth closed. If you do, you know, it doesn't matter. You're not going to get ill. It just doesn't taste particularly nice. Okay, so there's bottled water throughout. And at every place, you're going to find big, you know, urns of water that is available. Okay, now within this camp, you've got wonderful staff. You've got Dolphin, you've got Godfrey, you've got everyone else who is there to look after you, to creating that home vibe. Now, Godfrey is the cook. Now he can whip up, you know, whatever you want. You have access to go in, you know, if you wanted to go to the supermarket and buy your own snacks and food, you can put them in the fridge. You know, it's very, very relaxed. He tries, you know, to kind of give him feedback with what you love to eat and what you don't like, what you want more of. But it's very simple food. In the morning, you've got kind of fruit, toast, porridge, whatever, lunch, a lot of kind of pasta, salads, and then supper, kind of some kind of meat or fish variety. Okay, they're brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant at cooking a curry. So you might have a lot of curries. Now, if you get too many, just give him the nod. All right. But he's there. He wants to please. So feedback is important. As is Dolphin, who whizzes around, wants to do your washing, wants to look after you, anything you need. She is there. And of course, you've got Joseph and Juma and Janet. You're the third leader, who is, they live on site, and anything, you know, any worry, if you're ill, if you've got a cut you don't like the look of, if you've got a kind of headache, you feel dehydrated, whatever time of day or night, you're to find them and they will sort you out. Okay, so if you do get ill, they are your first port of call. What I don't want, Harry and I don't want, is for you to send a picture home of a gammy toe. Okay, you've trod on some coral, it's now not looking good, and you send that photo to your parents at 10 o'clock at night. They then send that photo to me at 10 o'clock at night. I then have to wake Joseph and Juma up, and it's now 1 in the morning. Okay, so we want to totally avoid that scenario. What you're to do, look at your gammy toe, go straight to Joseph and Juma and say, what am I going to do with this? And they'll know exactly what to do. Vipingo Clinic is 10 minutes away, 24/7. Honestly, top of the range. If only we had it here. They're amazing. They can sort out anything. Literally anything. If you need to be, one of the kind of main things, once we got a sick bug, annoyingly, in camp, a couple of people got dehydrated overnight, beautiful clinic on an IV. You pay as you go, and then you claim on insurance. So if you do have to go to Vipingo clinic, you collect all receipts and claim on your insurance when you're back. Okay? So from a health and safety point of view, you've got Vipingo clinic, and parents listening to this, if they can't sort it out, then we get you to Mombasa Hospital. If they can't sort you out, we get their air ambulance to fly in, and you get sent to Nairobi Airport. If they can't send you out, the air ambulance will fly you down to Cape Town. Okay? That is the sequence of events. But we've never had to go to point 2. We've never had to go to Mombasa or Nairobi, and certainly not to Cape Town. But the risk assessment has been sorted, so we have that all in order. So no one's to panic. We know exactly what to do when you need to do it. Example, a lot of parents ask, what happens if you got bitten by a snake? It's not going to happen, because the snake are more scared of you than you are of them. And this has not happened at the whole of our time of working in Kenya, but the snake clinic is 20 minutes away, okay, with all the antivenoms. So it's all been thought through. The main problem that people do get is...
Sorry, as we're talking about health, can I just ask you very quickly, do most people take malaria prophylaxis?
Yes, if possible. If your body can cope with it, if your mind can cope with it, that is one of the... some people don't feel good on it. Some people can feel a bit depressed, not quite themselves. If you get that feeling after kind of day 2 or 3, you talk to Joseph and Juma, and they'll talk to us, and we'll make a group decision about what to do. But it is sensible to take it, but at the same time, everybody, it is more sensible to have a shower before dark, to get your long trousers on, get sprayed up, and do mosquito prevention. Okay, that is one of the biggest risks. So mosquito bites, sickness and diarrhea, and dehydration. That's what you're going to come across. And cuts from the coral that are ignored. That's the usual things that we get to discuss, get to worry about. Okay. I'm just going to check my computer. It's not charging. Why is it not charging?
Hi, can I ask a question about mosquito repellent? Is the best one out there for jungle fever, or do you better to buy stuff out there?
Jungle fever, that's really good. The jungle formula, I mean. Nope, that's very good.
Thank you.
But girls and boys, in the evening, the best trousers to take are those really thin trousers that you get from, if everyone knows, the Aspiga brand type thing, which have got the elasticated anklet. Okay, so that you put I wear that every night when I am in Kenya, so I know a mosquito can't whip up my leg. Okay, that's really, really useful. Boys, long trousers, long shirts, but sprayed up. And actually, what I find more annoying are the ants out there. You've got these kind of big black ants, which are really annoying, and they can bite. They really hurt. So, when you're kind of sitting down, especially if you're at the beach club at night, look down, just check that you're not standing on a kind of ant pathway. Okay. I'm just looking at my list. We've gone through itinerary, the flights, the visa, kit, clothes, loads of swimmers, bikinis, bathing costumes, swim shorts, loads and loads, because you don't want to be sitting around in wet shorts, but you're going to be in and out of that sea all day, every day. Okay, loads of loose clothes, loose long sleeve, those trousers. During the day, you're going to kind of, when you're working in the village, you'll be wearing shorts, trainers, pair of sliders, those Birkenstocks, plastic Birkenstocks with the 2 straps, brilliant thing to take. Sports bras, singlet style vest tops because it's so hot. That's really good. Hat, really important. Do not forget your hat. Sunglasses, really important. Water bottles, vital. Take 2 and make sure they are the hard tin ones. No plastic water bottles. They're useless. You sit out in the sun, heat up your water, and then you get ill. Little rucksack for carrying all your paraphernalia when you're going from A to B to C. And then on safari, you'll wear what you travel in on the airplane. Long trousers, socks, your trainers, long t-shirt, and a hoodie. Can get cold at night. Okie dokes. So those are the main things. But look at that kit list, and you've got it all at home. You don't need to go out shopping unless you want those Aspiga trousers, which are super useful. Okay. In your first aid, the guys have a first aid, within camp, and there's everything. You can buy everything out there. But I would be taking in your personal first aid some Nurofen, paracetamol, sore throat tablets in case you get a sore throat, Sudocrem. If you get a cut, what are you going to do with it? Go through that. If you get a cut on the coral, you need to clean it out and you need to keep it clean. And Sudocrem is really good because it creates that greasy white barrier. And a really useful thing, which I never leave home without, are the rehydration tablets. Now, you can get those really disgusting ones from Boots. Don't get those. Go to somewhere like Waitrose or Holland & Barrett. You get them in a tube, and they're Voss, Voy, those types of things. And you get them all different flavors, and you drop one morning and night in your water bottle, and that just keeps you going. And it's really important because you probably up until now have not gone and done physical labor in 30-degree humidity. And that is what is going to be asked of you. It is a challenge. You're not going to be in the blazing summer. It is going to be hot. So dehydration, you want to steer it off. Okay? So really take your personal hygiene and health seriously. Okay? The snorkel and mask and wet shoes, the little scuba shoes, and the, what do you call it, UV little top, is vital. Really, really important. Make sure your snorkel and mask work before you head off. Cressy is a really good brand. Cressi. Okay? Just don't take a cheap thing that you've got in the back of the garage, which you used on your summer holiday 5 years ago. Okay, it won't be good because you're gonna be underwater, face down for good. You want to be able to breathe comfortably for a good 20 minutes while you're busy doing the coral gardening. Okay, any questions on the kit?
Can we buy a snorkel mask there, or is it better to bring it?
Bring it. You've got to take it. Okay. And the little reef shoes. You've got to take those. And your UV shirt. They are absolutely vital. Do not leave home without those things. Okay. Any other questions on the kit? All good? Good in the hood.
Yes, is there a particular, I can't remember the kit list, UV protection cream that does not damage the corals? Is there a brand you recommend?
Yeah, it is the reef friendly. There are loads of brands. If you just go on Amazon and just reef friendly brand for suntan lotion, one will pop up, and that's also really good thing to take. Now, if you can't find it, do not panic. It's not the end of the world, but if you can, obviously it's better. Okay. That is everything on my kind of, just looking at my list, on my must tell you, don't leave home without, what it looks like, what this adventure looks like. Now, I'm just going to do the kind of behavior team spirit chat, okay? As you'll kind of raise your eyes thinking, oh God, she sounds like a teacher at school, which I probably am. But here we go. Okay, the whole point of this experience, it is a team experience. And we do that at The Leap because we are passionate about team experiences. Now, at school, you could have been in all sorts of different teams, but you all knew each other. Okay, you were all familiar with the people's dynamics and people's kind of, where you could push them and pull them. This lot are all new to you. Okay, you're all out of your comfort zone. So you've all got to really look out for each other, especially in the first few days. Be kind to each other, be inclusive of each other. And remember, the person that you might think, oh, they look a bit scary or they're not quite my bag, that person, okay, you're going to love by the end of the 4 weeks. So go open-minded. And I know this because it happens to me on my midlife trips. You met everybody, human nature makes a judgment. Literally at Heathrow Airport, you'll make that judgment. But just remember this, that judgment will be so wrong. It will be really